Trigger warnings for depictions of war and violence. If the walls could grow eyes, they'd follow every single footstep as I walked down the hallway, burning holes through the layers of clothing, then skin, then marrow, following until following becomes staring, until staring becomes so hard they bleed, bleeding until dripping down from the ceiling, rising up from the floor, up around my neck until my head is floating just above, struggling to breathe. I didn't know that I was walking on a battlefield. Bombs carefully placed in book bags and desks. Can't tell what's on their minds, but I know that there are minds hidden in the crooks and corners of the classroom. I didn't know you guys hated me so much. Or at least people like me. So much so you'd rather wage war on a country, leave it only in sand and rubble until we're covering our heads, waiting for the moment you might bomb our bones into bits and pieces, covering our heads, head, covering. My mother told me to wear it with pride. But I don't think she understood how much burden came with pride. 3 feet of fabric, as light as a feather. How could it be so heavy? When I wrap my pride around me, it's like cradling a legacy so heavy it carries the weight of every single woman in my family. My hands are only so big. People tell me that I'll grow into them, like they've been me, like I am them, but I am me. You know me. Black girl, a few shades darker than the rest, with laughter that once filled the group with joy. I used to think that maybe if I took off the hijab, I was taking away the weight, lifting the burden, that I'd be the me that they thought I was. A response, I got Allahu Akbar, like the words were some type of threat, that in any moment that they would bomb my bones into bits and pieces. I'm always on alert, always waiting for the moment of impact, waiting for the moment they might scatter my remains across the ocean. Here is what they don't know. After all the devastation, you can't tell the difference between rubble and remains. You can't find a mother when hundreds of children are calling out for theirs. Cast enough bombs and it'll rain ash, streaking across the faces of my people like we haven't suffered enough. Children don't deserve to sleep through the night with bombs ringing in their ears. Children don't deserve to suffer, wondering if they'll wake up and be the only one left standing in the morning. Eyes so wide of shock, but no tears fall out. Inna lillahi wa inna lillahi rajoon. Did you even have time to grieve? I'd like to think that no one would like to clock into this type of job. But day after day, people continue to prove me wrong. Hours upon hours, people fill ravines full of unprovoked hate. I didn't deserve to be treated like some type of stranger that wandered in from the street. Instead of extending a hand, you kept it close, like my clothing was some type of warning sign. With your eyes, the only thing you saw was fabric. Eyes burning my body, I could feel it dancing on my bones. Glares like daggers scratching my skin so hard the arm began to peel. That became one with my scarf, dragging me against the edge of the pool. Some girls don't know how to float. Drowned at the bottom of the river with a hijab so blue it complemented her skin tone. For some people, it simply sink or swim. Inna ilahi wa inna lillahi rajoon. Did you even have time to breathe? The eyes never stop following, trained to focus on any target. It's something you get used to. Day after day, the only option is to move, is to swim. So they take their burden, they take their pride and shoulder it on their back. Regardless of how tired we are, the only option is to swim, is to move, is to run, is to breathe.